All right, so in a recent interview on the Porter podcast, Tszyu has come out and said that he will follow Jermell Charlo up to 160 should he not take on the challenge at 154 for that undisputed belt. I wasn't so sure Jermell was actually running from Tszyu at all, to be honest. Shawn Porter seems to think differently.
Boxing.
Charlo, where you at? Where you at, buddy?
What do you think Jermell Charlo would have thought watching that performance?
Charlo's been like, for the past couple of years, the name that I've always like sort of just been working for.
I'm gonna tell you, you're not fighting Jermell Charlo. I've said that so many times. He's not coming back to 154 pounds, and I don't think he wants to get in the ring with Tszyu.
I don't really care about the belts, in all honesty. If Charlo moves up to 160, yeah, I'll go follow him with both open hands.
Okay, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace and love to all the subscribers. Thank you to anybody new locked in as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the new subs as well. There's been a good reception from the last video, and thanks to all the boxing fans that were chopping it up in the comments section. I really appreciate it. So I'm doing this video because that interview that you just saw on the way in is like, wow, like I love it when fighters really try to chase another fighter down. After I did that video at the end, I never thought, or did it cross my mind, that Jermell was running from Tszyu at all. In fact, I'll pull a clip up now, 4 months before the Canelo fight.
Just the strength, that willpower that I got. I think that's what's going to be the difference maker between me and Tim. I'm gonna take his will from him right away. I don't care about none of that. Your daddy ain't in this ring.
Right.
Your daddy era is old. You keep up with that style. You don't adapt to this new era and this new style, you're gonna end up having more problems anyways.
So he's showing that the energy. Like I think he wants the fight. I really do. But will it be at 154? Now you could say, well, look, if he's gone up to 168, he was doing a lot of weights. He was bulking up. He was already big for the weight. Can he realistically get back down to 154? He's not getting any younger. He's in his early 30s. So it's not unreasonable for us to think that if he moves up to 160 that he's not necessarily just ducking Tszyu. But if Tszyu going to follow him, he's got to take that fight then, because Tszyu wants that smoke big time, and I love that. And it sounds like Jermell Charlo does too. That's a great fight. At the end of the day, for boxing, I'm a boxing fan. All right, I know the thumbnail is a little bit misleading. I don't want to upset anybody, and if you are getting upset by a thumbnail, I mean, this might be the wrong channel. It's just a little bit of a laugh, but nonetheless, is there some truth to it? Because Shawn Porter seems to really believe that Jermell does not want that smoke at all, and obviously Tszyu just put in a magnificent performance in. I thought it was a very good performance, and I mentioned his defense was very underrated. We spoke about that. They talked about that on the Porter podcast as well, about how good his defense was. And shout out to, again, the people that were in the comments, a lot of knowledgeable boxing fans. And, we were chopping it up, like I said, but a lot of it was about his defense. And he's getting better and better and better as every fight progresses. Look, I didn't see the Canelo fight live. I've watched the highlights. I'll pull up a clip now if you missed it. But seriously, I've only seen the highlights, so I'll put the real highlights up now if you did miss it. But look, he's got some decisions to make, because, and I'm doing a video on the real essence of what a duck is, because there are some times there's like what I call a business duck, where the whole team come together. The money's not right, is it really worth it? All these, factors that we don't see go into somebody ducking a fighter. And it looks like, on the surface they just didn't want the fight. But in reality, there are some logical reasons as to why the whole team just decided not to. And in fact, I'm making a video about Lomachenko, and Loma fans probably won't be happy about that, because that at the moment, that looks like a duck, right? But that's also got some business elements to it as well, and I'll explain in the next video, so stay tuned for that. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I've got loads of videos coming, and you know, I've got, yeah, loads of more short videos for anybody who wants to learn boxing, but loads of just random videos like this, and I'll talk about it at the end of the video. But for now, Tszyu, look, in terms of what other options he has, or Jermell has, obviously Jermell has the Bud fight, which is a lot of people are talking about, but even that's lost a bit of its charm because of Jermell's performance. But for some reason, the Tszyu fight, because they were both in the 54-pound division, it was talked about, they were already scheduled, Jermell broke his hand, and the fight never happened. But now, because Tszyu's pressuring him, and he's putting that pressure on, look, as a man, right, you're getting called out like that. You are the champion, right? You got 3 belts in your division, and you're getting called out hard like that. You've got an obligation, I think, you know, to take that challenge and to defend your crown. You're the king of the division. You know, he's a fantastic fighter, Jermell Charlo. But, you know, what is going to happen with that? Because, like I said, if he does go up to 160, he doesn't really fancy that 154 Tszyu smoke, then, you know, like they're gonna lose credibility if he doesn't take that Tszyu fight. I think, you know, he's already lost a bit of credibility given his lack of engagement in the Canelo fight, right? And so, you know, he's got to somehow get his reputation back. And what better way to do it than against the only other guy in the division with the belt, when you can become undisputed again? I wonder if that's actually happened before. 2-time undisputed. With that, yeah, I'm sure it has, but in the space of a short period of time. Don't know. Maybe there's some historians out there. But look, let me know your thoughts on whether this is a duck, whether you think Jermell's actually, like, you know, I don't think he's frightened to get in the, most boxers aren't. Now, obviously there's some that might think that it's a bit too much, you know, like, or some fighters are generally avoided. But, you know, I don't personally think he's necessarily ducking him. I think there's a bit more to it than that. But if he doesn't take the fight at 160 and Tszyu's on his backside at 160, then that's a major duck. And that's not a good look, because 160 is a light division, and if Tszyu went up there, he'd be one of the better fighters, if not the best. Obviously, he's got to prove himself at the weight. We've got Janibek up there, Carlos Adames, I say Golovkin, but he's getting on. Maybe Chris Eubank Jr. Maybe I'm missing one or two. I forget. The middleweight division is pretty dry. Jermell Charlo, obviously, but he's been massively inactive, and he's had some out-the-ring demons, and he's not fought for 2 years. But look, we'll see. Let me know your thoughts. I've got loads of videos, like I said, on the way in the next day or two. They're going to be coming out thick and fast. And yeah, hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And that's it from me. Peace and love. I'll see you soon.
Boxing.